Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, episode 121. This is Grady Hooker, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
So, this week's Raw, where do we start, I think, is the big question.
Yeah, a lot happened.
We'll just start with the one that's currently on my phone right now, and that is the Divas Division.
Well, it's definitely got shook up.
So basically, if you did not watch, the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox talked a little bit, and then Paige came out, and then NXT Divas Charlotte and Becky Lynch came to Paige's side, then Naomi and Tamina came out, and then Sasha Banks went to their side. So now we have 3 teams of 3.
Why not Battleground have a 9-diva 3-team match?
What? It was a great sight to see. I'm hoping it does actually change the Divas Division in that they're also going to bring over the other things from NXT, like actually giving them time to wrestle. But we'll have to see how that goes, I guess. But for now, at least, it's a promising revitalization. But we've said that many times about the tag team division, and that hasn't helped.
The ball's in their court. Let's see what they do with it.
The only problem I see now is if they're hard cutting, or at least in the next few months, transitioning away from NXT. Who do we have back down in NXT still? Because we got Alexa Bliss and Carmella, who are currently in stables, and then Emma, Dana Brooke. I think that might be it. I'm going to be forgetting someone. And Bayley, but Bayley's injured right now. NXT's Divas Division just lost 3 big main eventers. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from there, because they can't... we've seen Owens at least wrestle down there a little while after his main roster debuts. They might transition out.
Yes, that's another thing. They're definitely going to need to reload on female talent.
And Tough Enough
Blue
is
Pants
not
might
going to
actually
help
get a contract.
Yeah, at the moment at least, Tough Enough is not looking too good to help them fill up on talent. At least on the female side, should I say.
Definitely by the responses that the fans gave them when they were introduced last night. Yeah,
I don't know if... I'm going to presume, since, it's on the same network, the mainstream fans, at least know about Tough Enough. So I'm going to assume they were just lukewarm on every single contestant except 2. Those 2, of course, being Patrick and Zizi.
Yeah, they were really the only ones that got any kind of real reaction out of the crowd.
I want to say the next one was actually Tanner, and Tanner got, light boos. At least on what I was listening to. I had it through headphones. And it sounded almost like they were booing Tanner. And I think... I'm forgetting her name. The new girl, who was a part of the Daniel Bryan storyline, also got a very mixed reaction. So, I don't know. I had thought originally that Patrick was coming off and just a way to annoy people, but it seems by the fan reaction that he's going to be, even if he goes down to the bottom 3, that he will be saved.
I think it's because a lot of people see that he's
Passionate.
passionate
Yeah.
about. So that's what I'm thinking is that that he really seems to be the one person that really cares about the business.
Yeah.
And really wants to do this for a living, rather than wanting to win a contract or become famous out of this.
Yeah. Looking at the cast, Tough Enough, presuming they're going to do what they did last season, there's a couple of them there who, if you trained them the right way, would be alright. I believe this week they're actually learning wrestling moves, I want to say. So, I'll have to wait and see if they're actually any good. But I'm pretty sure, see, I'm still blanking on her name, the new girl, she is also trained by Lance Storm, so I guess we got some wrestling skill coming in on the female side. After they probably realized they were lacking it. I don't know. We'll go into our classic entrance theme, and then we'll come back, we'll cover some of the other big stuff that happened on Raw. So our classic entrance theme is Crash Hollies. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So the United States Open Challenge is heating up this week on Raw.
I kind of wanted a fatal 4-way match.
I thought it was going to happen. It seems now that Ziggler has to go film his movie really quickly that Rusev has nothing to do for a little while. Does this change your projected plans at all?
Not really. But I kind of wanted to see the Fatal 4-Way after I saw the three of them enter the ring with Cena. But you know something? Cena took a little too much glee out of this whole situation with the match before his match.
Okay.
Almost like a heel would.
Josh, don't say it. Don't say it. We can't use those words.
No turn. I'm not predicting a turn or anything.
Okay.
Just
calming down.
He just enjoyed the fact that the three of them had to have a war before he got the fight.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was a great war. I liked the war. It seems anything to do with the United States Championship is pretty much like 4 or 5 star match. Just magic.
Yeah, the United States Championship has definitely been elevated since Cena's taken hold of it.
Yeah.
But the question is once it's off of him, what will they do with it?
Yeah. As long as they continue to keep Owens and keep Cesaro like at the top when they wrestle, that they can go for at least a couple more months, keeping it at the level that John Cena would have left it at. Presuming that's the way they're going. I almost don't want John Cena to lose it, just because these open challenges are so fun and lead to great matches. But, you know, he's gotta lose it sometime. I never thought I'd say those words. I might actually let us play a John Cena theme. But the official match at Battleground is Owens Cena, I believe.
Yeah.
And you're sticking with your prediction? If we're jumping over to the other mid-card title, are you a bit bored with that storyline?
I was bored the moment they started with it.
Yep. It seems as though the fans do not care too much for the Ryback Big Show Miz storyline. Something about it is just not entertaining.
Yeah, I kind of wish, and it's kind of sad because I really look forward to Ryback as Intercontinental Champion. I really look forward to it because I thought it would do something good for him, but at this point, it hasn't. Not to say it won't.
Yeah.
Just, I haven't been entertained, to borrow a phrase from Sheamus.
Yeah, it seems as though that he's doing the exact same thing before he had the title and after he had the title. It's just an accessory per se. And that it hasn't elevated him or the title at all, compared to Cena, where it was like, I take the title, I'm elevating it immediately. I'm just hoping that at Battleground we can finish off this storyline and maybe move on to one that is more entertaining. Move on to a more entertaining storyline. Because I believe after Battleground, because we would have just had Sheamus versus Randy Orton, that there's going to be a couple more talent that may be a better fit for a mid-card title. That way it can be elevated the same way the US title has been. I don't mean to take it, I mean to have a feud with.
Sheamus versus Ryback. That's an interesting feud.
Yeah, it's the first thing that comes to mind when I'm thinking about it. Because Sheamus at least has the briefcase, which I don't think is being emphasized very much. But he's sort of upper echelon. I think it might be a decent... I want to say this feud's been done like a million times. I don't know. I'll Google it. But it seems like it would be good. They had a couple of little matches by the looks. But Ryback definitely needs to move on quickly before this feud just tanks him immediately. So we'll go into our current entrance theme. It's a Ring of Honor theme, and the one thing I like about Josh picking the themes is I get introduced to new themes that I would never have even imagined listening to. This one is Jay Lethal's Scorched Ops. And you're back. Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady and Josh. So I'm just going to talk about the return of Stardust, the very lukewarm return. But just before we get to that, the awesome match card between Stardust and Neville.
Yeah.
Can we have more of those?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. You're definitely getting a superhero vibe from anything to do with Stardust.
Oh, wink, wink. We all know why.
Neville is often.
Yeah, Neville is sort of seen as that like super hero. I don't want to say hero, but superhero character. Does like a triple backflip corkscrew thing, man. Not many people can do that. But in terms of the comic book match card, I hope we see a couple more of those with Stardust coming forward. But I think we can all see, at least, hopefully, they're starting back up the feud that was started on Raw with Stephen Amell or the Green Arrow. I don't know which. Because on like a mirror of a photo that Stardust posted on Twitter, he had Neville crossed out and then the Green Arrow underneath it. So I think we're heading into that again.
And, I had a thought. Wouldn't it be interesting if two wrestlers had very strong delusions of being one a superhero and one a supervillain, and they were both just happy to play off of each other's delusions for a while, and then faced each other at WrestleMania?
What you talking about?
Just a random thought.
Okay. And I like the superhero vibe.
Kind of like the Hurricane was.
Yeah.
And have them just like do weekly videos of like the villain trying to do a crime or something, and the superhero comes in and saves the day, and then they cost each other matches along the way, but they never actually face off until like WrestleMania to build up on it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not outside the realm of possibility. If you look down at NXT, I'm pretty sure the Vaudevillains did a similar thing with the Lucha Dragons. Where they did like little promo-y thingies. It'd be entertaining. I really like the superhero side that they're going with Stardust. Even if I would prefer Cody, just from Stardust's tweet, I think we can tell why he's staying as that character, at least for now. But do you think it's actually going to be Amel at all? Or do you think it's going to be like a representative?
It would. I believe it would be Armel.
Interesting. As the Green Arrow?
If they can swing it, heck yeah.
I'm not too down with the show, but he's not the Green Arrow anymore, is he?
Actually, they've addressed, from what I can tell, they've kind of have begun to call him a code name Green Arrow.
Okay. Because he's something
Or very
Argul.
least, the Arrow.
Okay. So isn't he something Argul now? I don't know what. Last time I watched, he was a different one. He changes. And he's wearing like a very...
You know that he is getting an updated costume in the next season.
Yeah, I saw that image. No, we'll see. It would make sense. I'm sure WWE doesn't do things that don't make sense. Talking about not making sense, R-Truth and Wade Barrett's feud. That's a thing.
Yeah, we're getting a battle for the crown at Battleground on the pre-show.
Do you see it as just another funny segment, or do you actually see it like JBL would scream that it's like degrading the King of the Ring moniker?
I have no interest in this feud, honestly.
Even with the entertaining R-Truth?
R-Truth's doing what he can with it, but it's Wade Barrett. I'm sorry, but he's just not interesting.
You make me sad. If you haven't out there watched the newest Swerved episode, R-Truth's in it. R-Truth funny. Watch it. We'll move on. Main event-ish, I want to say. Basically, Rollins and Lesnar contract signing. They basically, it's a contract signing. It's the WWE. It's just like a wedding. What's going to go right? So they obviously, table flip, smashy. That's just noises. And then Kane gets, I believe, from what WWE.com and WWE have reported, I believe he gets his ankle broken. I may have to look up exactly what, but for a unified authority, Seth Rollins got pretty mad at Kane when he got hurt, so I don't believe the authority is that unified, as far as I'd say.
Somebody needs to visit Kane, him in the hospital, Mankind style.
What? Where is the storyline coming from?
Just random thoughts.
We need to put your random thoughts in a book. Oh.
But yeah, I thought that would be interesting, but just have somebody show up and visit an injured Kane in the hospital.
Just for funsies.
Yep.
Is Seth Rollins breaking up the Authority that he just got back together?
Possibly. You're definitely leaning towards Triple H being very disappointed in him. Almost like a disappointed dad.
I was going to say, that's a classic dad line.
Yeah. It's possible that this could lead to the reunite of the Shield, at least long enough to finish off the Authority.
Yeah. I don't know what's the front way. There's been people saying that Lesnar's going to side with them, and then we've had, Roman Reigns versus Triple H, Seth Rollins versus Triple H, and Dean Ambrose versus Triple H, all rumored for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I've heard that they may put off Triple H versus Seth Rollins and rematch Brock versus Seth in a gimmick match.
Yeah, gimmick matches. Like a loser leaves town.
And I don't really know what the gimmick would be. I haven't heard. I just heard that that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I would guess it would be some kind of gimmick like a no DQ or something.
It would have to be something that will allow Lesnar to get brutal.
Maybe a steel cage match or something. I don't know.
But remember, we can't look over that poster. The poster that showed Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar.
I'd rather see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, not for the title, just who's better. That's it. That's the only thing I'd like to see, just who's the better man.
I don't know, maybe they're going to wait until WrestleMania, but it seems like that match needs to happen in the way that, from what happened at last WrestleMania, we're sort of left hanging, wondering who is the better man out of the two of them.
And they've really dropped the ball on Roman since that match.
Yep. The ball has thoroughly been dropped. So hopefully they can give him some steam. It seemed as though they'd almost given up on him. I don't know. It seemed weird that he'd gone... It seems all of the Shield, really. Seth Rollins is still getting his push, but like Dean got a massive push, and then Dean's push died out, and then Roman Reigns got a massive push, and then Roman Reigns' push died out. So it'll be interesting to see if they're actually gonna do something with any of the former Shield who are not Rollins, just because they've had their pushes and their pushes have died out.
No. Honestly, I have no clue what the plan is for Ambrose at this point.
I literally read an article just before we went on the air that said he was meant to be taking on Kane at Battleground. And then stuff changed. Who knows?
And now Ambrose has nothing to do.
Wah.
He's not even announced for a match or anything.
He'll find a way. So, it's been great talking to you, Joe.
You know,
Nope.
Ambrose visited Kane in the hospital.
There we go. Solved it. Best storyline in the world. We'll end on Ambrose visiting Kane in the hospital. It's been great talking to you.
Peace out.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio, and I'll see you next week.